King Gamer. It's like 6:20 in the morning, and well, you already know how my deal. I want to get these reviews out as quickly as possible, but I'm dead asleep right now, so I want to try to make this as quiet as possible without, just being too loud. So let's get to reviewing Pinkie Pride. So apparently we start off in Appaloosa, where a mysterious pony.
Looks like our work here is done.
So yes. So who is this mysterious pony? Well, this is Cheese Sandwich, and as everybody knows, he's voiced by Weird Al Yankovic of all people. This is gonna be good.
Looks like our next party is going to be in Pennyville.
Oh boy, I can tell that things are going to get exciting. So we cut the pony where we immediately get to a song of how Pinkie Pie enjoys throwing parties, and she has something planned. Now, I just want to let you know that, much like Magical Mystery Tour, this episode is somewhat like a musical, but unlike Magical Mystery Tour, a lot of the songs that are tied into the episode feel like the songs of the Prince of Egypt, at which they keep the story going forward, and they don't draw it out at any point. And that was a bit of continuity from Beauty and the Beast. So apparently Pinkie Pie is setting up the birth anniversary for Rainbow Dash, which in her turn means the day that she moved to Ponyville. If a birth anniversary is not a thing, somebody make that a thing. Okay, that was pretty clever. But there's two different things. There's the simple get-together type of party where you and then there's the type of party where teens basically go off to drive drunk and get pregnant. Cut me along. But just as Pinkie Pie tells us, this cheese sandwich arrives.
My cheesy sense of the kingdom telling me that the party is in the works. Yes, I sensed you did. And I happen to be the premier party planner in all of the Western Islands.
Oh yes, this is where a rivalry gets in.
There I'll be. Be it wing-ding, throw-down, nanny or shindig, I'm your phone.
I'm not a country person or someone who grows up in the South, but aren't all those words pretty much the same thing? But then again, I didn't grow up in the South, so... Oh my god. Have I mentioned yet that in order to keep doing these reviews, I have to keep using Daily Motion? Because, YouTube's hacked copyright system is, So, yeah, it's gonna be that episode where somebody new shows up at the town and has similar skills to one of the main characters, and then things start to get out of hand. like I said, if a birthday is not a thing, somebody make that a thing.
Oh, I don't think so. I know so.
Have I mentioned yet that cheese sandwich designs looked almost exactly alike Weird Al himself? And speaking of which, we're about to hear some of his amazing singing that I personally haven't seen since the 1986 Transformers movie, the song that he made, Dare to Be Stupid.
After all, the super duper party pony, that pony is me. I always knew that was the kind of pony I would be. Come on, ponies, who here likes to party? You do, I can tell. When I put fun on those tools, I jump on into place. But every pony pulling kicks that bunch of ways a day. But when I threw a party and I busted out some moves, the pony finally saw the light and got into the groove. The super duper party.
Have I mentioned yet that cheese sandwich brings a gigantic smile? I also like all the references in this song that are made. Like, not only is the visual spectacular, but also a lot of callbacks. But of course, it just shows how zany and weird, you know, because it's Weird Al. But that's just the thing that we expect. But as the song goes on, we see that a lot of people get pulled in by cheese sandwich and tend to forget about Pinkie. And just like that, everybody forgets about Pinkie. Well, that went relatively fast, but now some of you already think that cheese sandwich is pretty much going to be Pinkie's rival, since it's going to be the same, you know, it's the same thing that's going to happen between Twilight and Trixie, Rainbow Dash and Lightning Dust, and Siri and Rarity. But I'll get to that when we get to that. Oh, and also we get this. Okay, I know that this is going to be talked about a little bit later, but dick delivery, guys. Dick delivery. Okay, remember how I said in the last review I might be getting into hot water? Now, that's probably thinking that this is going to be another one of those cases where it's going to be like Magic Duel, which is another one of those episodes I absolutely hate, yet everybody else doesn't seem to mind. But no, that's not the case. I'm not one of those people. I rather enjoy the episode very well. The issue that I have with is a lot of people tend to overlook some flaws and think this episode is near perfect. Again, I'm looking straight at you, Voice of Reason. Okay, just because Weird Al isn't in this episode, that doesn't mean there are a few nitpicks that people constantly overlook. But we'll get to there when we get to there. Except, aside from this one nitpick, where Pinkie is heartbroken from Rainbow Dash's comment, especially when she's right fucking there. Are you really so into this party, Rainbow, that you just accept this new person who you only met for like 5 minutes and suddenly ditch your friend who you've known for like, what, a few years now? And the same can be said for the rest of the main six. Now, I can see that happening with, like, Rarity or Fluttershy and maybe Applejack, but Princess Twilight Sparkle? Couldn't she see something that might be conflicting? Starting to see where I'm going with this? Oh, and did I forget to mention... Hang on, you can't see me. Yeah, have I mentioned yet that nobody looks back to see how Pinkie is feeling? Okay, look, I'm not trying to criticize the episode here, and I'm gonna go into further detail why I, like many people, think this is one of the best episodes of Season 4's put out. But I don't think it's the best episode. That a lot of people say when it was getting high praise. Because it seems that other analysts decided to watch the episode after like 1 or 2 takes, and then decide to do a review on it, and then slap a rating on it. So as Cheese Sandwich starts to get the party together, Twilight does try to check in on Pinkie. But Pinkie can't admit it thinks that she overlooked. And we get another song, and we also get a sign of foreshadowing. And during the song, Pinkie tries to get a bunch of other jobs, but it doesn't go so well. It feels so long ago. Okay, and this is why because this is coming from somebody who just got into the series about, like, freshman year of his high school, which makes him, like, what? Like, hold on, 2012, 2013, 2014. About almost half a decade now. Guess what? I'm a big old man now who's fucking tired of people constantly overlooking things without making any issues that need to be fixed. So Pinkie then gets the courage to basically come out and then... I would love it if you never make that face again. And this is something in, like, the tentacle aspect. Like, nobody, like, really... Like, it just cuts to that phase without, like, even transitioning to anything. Like, seriously, nobody took over this, but who am I saying? Now we get the infamous goof-off. Pinkie, the stakes are kind of high here. So, basically what happens, Pinkie Pie challenges Cheese Sandwich to a goof-off, of which they need to act as silly and over the top as much as possible. And considering this is Pinkie Pie and Cheese Sandwich, this is gonna be hilarity. But then again, the Fiery Joker already talked about this in his top 10 musical battles.
Are you kidding? Twilight can find a rulebook for everything.
Thank you.
The two competitors have free range to goof about, be it by singing, dancing, playing, prancing, joking, or performing, to make the judge chortle, chuckle, giggle, guffaw, hoot and holler, hoot up, and party down. Funnier, sillier, wilder, and goofier the better. Rainbow Dash, since the winner will be headlining her part.
Which, again, it would be a lot easier if they just come to a compromise, but then we wouldn't get this goof-off. Which... and goofing / hilarity. Have I mentioned yet that this is just... there is just so much randomness that's going on, from, like, giant cheese wheels, well, to call back to other songs, such as Cheese Sandwich trying to sing the Smile Smile song.
I want my yoga pants to...
God Seriously, why exactly does Ed have to interrupt, especially if we're getting into the good part? Now, I really don't want to repeat what the Fiery Joker mentioned in his top 10 musical battles, but there is so much hilarity and amazingness going on in this goof-off. They even cut to some live action portions. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. Now, this might come off as a bit of a dick move, but honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. Yeah, if you thought the party cannon was amazing, how about a gigantic artillery party tank? Where does she keep getting all this stuff? Well, seriously, where did the giant pinata come out of nowhere? But then eventually the pinata crashes on Rainbow Dash. And then Pinkie comes to a realization. Someone remind me. Yeah, whatever the Pinkie Party promise is, like somebody sent me like a pamphlet or something. Well, anyways, Pinkie Pie realizes that Rainbow Dash isn't having fun and realizes she went too far. So the only conclusion is.
I do?
Yes. You get to headline Rainbow Dash's party. But what about you, Pinkie? I don't...
So Pinkie Pie packed up all her stuff, and now everybody gets the goddamn courtesy to apologize.
Pinkie, wait! I'm sorry I got all swept away by cheese sandwich. No. I don't know what got into you. Sorry, Pinkie.
Okay, yeah, that was just me, a nitpick at the beginning, so I can forgive that.
No. I'm sorry I let my pride get in the way of you having the best birthday ever. Cheese sandwich really is super duper party planner and could be a terrific headline. I should have been a big enough movie to admit that and let you have your day. But don't you get it? You're both super duper party boots. Sure, cheese sandwich is a great guest party boot, but you're Ponyville's permanent party boot. No pony could ever take your place, and we could never have a party without you.
Rainbow Dash is right. I never meant to take your place in Ponyville. I just wanted to show you what a great party pony I am, Pinkie.
See, this is what I was talking about earlier when I was mentioning the whole rivalry thing. And while it did come off that way with also amazing hilarity, this is what also makes Cheese Sandwich a great character. Not only is he zany and goofy like Pinkie Pie, but he also comes forth and explains his kindness. Well, that doesn't sound safe, but basically what I'm trying to say is that unlike other rivals like Trixie, Lightning Death, or Siri, he's not an asshole! And we also get to another song where he was actually pretty shy. And we come to a legit twist. That's right. It turns out that Pinkie Pie was the one who inspired Cheese Sandwich to become a party planner. Now, honestly, I did not see that coming. But then again, I'm sure many people were surprised when they heard that.
Yes. Really? Really?
So I was supposed to enter the Oscar Spectacular Party and inspire me to become an Oscar Spectacular Party program?
Swear on Camembert.
That was a long fuzzy stuff, you two. It's my birthday,
And so Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash decide to work together to form the big special birth anniversary for Rainbow Dash. And we also get the song Make a Wish, which has an extended version on iTunes, in case you're wondering. Sorry if I'm like moving, but the song is so catchy. And we can also see that, hang on a sec, according to the giant cake that Rainbow Dash is blowing out the candles, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it seems Rainbow Dash is turning 21. Didn't actually think that the characters could actually like age or have like legit. The song Make a Wish is really catchy and it's really enjoyable to listen to, especially when it's someone's birthday. And the reason why I was grooving to it earlier was because I would usually play the song over the second opening to One Piece.
I gotta tell you, you and Pinkie have totally made this the best birthday anniversary.
Epic.
You're giving me your special rubber chicken breast?
So Cheese Sandwich gives its Pinkie Pie boneless and has a boneless too. And then we get this line, which is kind of infuriating.
I never could think that that's what he's saying. Cheese sandwich! Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be another nitpick, but that last line just bothers me to no end. Again, why is it that people constantly look over these tiny nitpicks that need a clear-cut episode? Look, I get it's supposed to be played off as a joke, but I honestly think that my suspension of disbelief wouldn't be so shot if this wasn't the person who was inspired by Pinkie herself to become a party planner. So aside from the minor nitpicks, I still think that Pinkie Pride is a good episode, one of the best that Season 4 has. But calling it the best episode of Season 4, it's kind of stretching it. Okay, look. Now, I'm not criticizing the episode. I, like many people, still think this is an amazing episode. Having Weird Al guest star was definitely one of the amazing things that ever happened. The animation is literally was on steroids and was really hyper all the way through. Not only that, but I really like how all the songs in the episode flowed perfectly throughout the episode. The songs reminded me, like I said in the start of this review, a lot of the songs reminded me of the songs in The Prince of Egypt, of which they kept the story moving forward. The goof-off was major hilarity, but what really sticks out to me the most was in this episode was Pinkie's rainbow-powered rainbow key, of which she realized that her pride was getting in the way of having her friends having a good time, and then she realized that she'd gone too far, and just wanted to make her friends smile, but it didn't turn out so well. However, all the minor nitpicks regarding of Rainbow Dash's behavior, as well as the other members of the main six for that matter, at the beginning of the episode, and change over time near the end. And I would, if not for that last, but, okay, what I'm trying to say is that aside from a minor nitpick I made throughout this review, I still think this is a great episode. As a whole, Pinkie Pride gets an A. It would have been an A+, if not for the very last scene. But it still gets an A, and it's still considered a great episode. It's too bad I can't say that we're all the way up through, because now we're going to get to the episode where Season 4 really starts to dwindle a bit. Next time, we are going to take a look at Simple Ways, which is the first episode that I legitimately think is the first bad episode of Season 4. Until then, see you guys next time.